Hey everybody, Rob Bailey here, and in this free training, I'm going to show you exactly how you can go step by step from absolute zero experience to doing your first DR, database reactivation. And really, a lot of you in the group have asked for this, and I've done a terrible job of getting this to you on time. And the reason why is because formal slide decks and everything, they take forever to build. And so I'm just going to do this with my chicken scratch drawings and deliver it to you guys as fast as I possibly can today. And that way you have the material and you can get on with it. And I won't use the word that some other people post in the group, but you can do your first DR and have some success with this and make some money, put some money in your pocket. So here we go. So what am I going to teach you here today? Well, let me just first, a lot of you don't even know what this is, but a database reactivation is our secret sauce. This was largely responsible. This is our secret weapon in our agency, and we went from like 0 to 2 point, I think it was like 2.15 million in 22 months. And what was cool about that was we didn't start having a ton of success with our agency. We were just kind of doing Facebook ads, just like a lot of other agencies do out there, doing lead generation. But we didn't have a large amount of the success until in the last year. So the bulk of this 2.15 million here, the bulk of this came in the latter half of that last year. So the reason for that is because our database reactivation got so strong at the end that we were like, it was like printing money pretty much. Before we sold the agency, we were just getting so good at this for fitness locations. So we have 525 fitness locations. And there's absolutely no way that we could have ever done that and fulfilled on it and gotten our clients results without this strategy I'm about to show you, okay? So database reactivation is something you can do. And this is what we would charge just to get started with a client. It's $5,800. And when we first started, everyone told us we were crazy. They're like, gyms can't afford that. There's no way that a small gym can afford $5,800. Well, they can if we do a database reactivation for them and put $6,000 to $12,000 in their pocket before they get their credit card statement, in under 30 days. So that's kind of the premise behind all this. Excuse me. We've gotten like 1,000 times better at doing database reactivation since we first started. We've been a bit obsessed with it. And so I'm here today to show you exactly step by step how to do it. So what are we going to cover today? Today, what we're going to cover is I'm going to show you a few things. One is the foundations you need. So how do you do this in a way that's compliant, that you can scale, that you can charge money for, that's predictable, that gets your client results, that are the result that you promised to them? How do you keep all this stuff organized? All that good stuff. And the good news for you is, the technology has just come so far in the past 2 years, but mainly in the last 6 months to make this a lot easier for you guys. And with our help and our training, it's even easier. So when we first started this off, we did not have these foundational pieces in place, and I'll explain sort of what the difference was, like the old way and the new way. But this is a really important step. You will not be successful doing this strategy if you don't have good foundations in place, and specifically some software that can help you. And then I'm going to tell you who to sell to. So how do you sell it? And then I will show you how to actually, how to do it, how to book appointments, because that's what the clients are going to be paying you for, okay? And then I'm going to show you exactly how to, connect this, like a little bit of the tech stuff, but, like connect this to your ads, right? So that if you're running Facebook ads, for example, and getting leads for a client, how you can connect that up and really make it seem as though the second that they opt into an ad, that there's a live person on the other end texting them back. So this is what we call lead nurturing, right? And then how to scale it, right? So I'm just looking at my notes over here. So here's the deal, guys. When you first get started in anything, there's a million variables, right? We've been obsessed about this stuff for 2 years, but really the last year, it's been a good year and a half, 2 years that Haplin, for example, has just been like super, super focused on just this one thing. So what I'm about to show you is not theory. It's like, the result of us being a little bit of a savant about this one topic, okay? And so really what I'm about to show you is like some of our best stuff, and I'm going to show you how you can easily charge 1K right up front, and because we know it works and we know it doesn't and what will get results, what I'm about to show you, you can charge easily $1,000 to get appointments, because you can get folks like on the low end 40 appointments to, we've gotten as high as 500 appointments for one location just with their database. Okay. And what I'm about to show you is basically what we would do. It's the first thing that we always did as soon as we booked the client. Okay. With our clients, we did Facebook ads for them, we did lead nurturing, and we did a database reactivation in reverse order. So we would always start off with a database reactivation first, and it would fill their gym. I mean, in like a week. It's like, look, yeah, you pay us for our service. Next week, you're going to be busy as heck. Get ready. Right? So, excuse me. Pardon me. So this is exactly what we would do. And if you want to just keep it super simple, you could just charge a smaller amount. You don't have to charge $5,800, but if you're just beginning out, $1,000 to do this is a slamming deal for them. Because if you say, look, I'll get you as many appointments as I can for you, but I guarantee that I'll get you at least like 40. Would that be worth $1,000 to you? Well, let me think about that. Well, so you start doing the math a little bit in their head, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's a pretty awesome deal. As most customers or most clients want more customers now. That's why they would hire you. So there's this thing that we're doing here, which is moving them closer to the sale, right? So they want a sale, a new customer, right? Or a repeat customer. The appointment is the sneaky step in between that they typically ignore, okay? And we used to ignore this too. So it's like, this one is so sneaky, so sneaky. So the appointment has a very, very large psychological value to the customer. So anytime you can wake up a prospect or a previous customer or a lead from a Facebook ad and say, great, you took us up on this free 10-day pass, I'd love to reserve it for you here at the front desk. Will you let me know when you might be coming by? And so, and then you kind of put them down and go, well, which one's better for you, today or tomorrow? Tomorrow. Okay, which one's better for you tomorrow, 5 or 6? 6. Great, see you then. As soon as the prospect has that mental commitment to come in, the chances of them actually showing up skyrocket, okay? And so clients will pay a ton of money to get somebody to walk in, right? Between this step and this step, between this step and this step, they have to actually come into the place of business, which is the hardest thing to get them to do. Generating leads is not tough, or at least it isn't for us. There's a lot of people out there that can generate leads. Typically, most small business owners can sell something. They can sell, we always ask our gym owners, okay, well, what's your closing ratio? They always say, oh, we close 80% of everyone who walks in the door. Always, it was 80%. I don't know why. And not only did we find that was not true, but we also found that they weren't used to booking appointments and getting that psychological commitment to come in. They would just pray and wait. This is the pray step usually. They pray right here and hope that the person just shows up. So what does that mean? Well, for every 100 leads we would generate, that means only 2 to 10 of these folks would actually show up. That's the old way. That means that no one's doing this step, right? The old way was someone would generate a lead, typically an agency for the location owner, and then no one would book the appointment, and the business owner would pray in this step right here, and this was the death wish of the relationship, right? If any of you have ever heard like the leads are garbage or the leads are crap, right? Like, because you're generating leads and the business owner, is not closing them. It's like this total finger pointing thing where you're like, oh my gosh, I got you 100 leads. Like, what are you talking about? Like, did you follow up with them? Did you call them within 5 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes, which is, that's really the window. I'll write this down because it's important. 5 to 15 minutes is how fast you need to get in touch with the lead. from the time that they opt in or time that they raise their hand. And most small business owners do not have the bandwidth, the ability, the skill to drop what they're doing and call these leads or text these leads or email them or whatever, right? They just don't. We tried everything to get them to do this, and they just would not do it, guys. They just wouldn't, you know? And so that's where this finger pointing thing got really out of hand, and clients, you know, they couldn't afford to keep us on because they weren't making money from our service. It's the bottom line. So we started to handle this for them. So now, for every 100 leads we generate, we can get 60 to 80 of these people to respond, and the majority of them show up. So 60 to 80 respond through the text because we text them right away. Our automated system texts them right away. And out of these 60 to 80, I would say like 40 to 60 probably show, which is a ton more than before, right? So this is a new way. Okay, so, you know, and again, my handwriting is terrible, but this new way right here is quite literally, guys, the absolute biggest difference maker that was by far, it was like not even close. You know, we could get much better at ads, but it wouldn't make this kind of difference to get 40 to 60 of these guys to show, you know, like that's incredible. Even the worst salesperson in a small business can make money from 40 to 60 new in-person sales opportunities. They can, you know, and if they're not, then that's definitely on them. It's not you, it's them, right? But okay, so why is the DR important, right? Why is the database reactivation part of this important? Well, if, you know, what's crazy is that we can, instead of going straight to Facebook and paying for new leads, most business owners are sitting here on a gold mine, right? They're sitting, like, the DR is great because most businesses have a database of like 2,500 to 10,000 records, right? So we knew that we could do much better with the Facebook leads that we would get the clients, right? Because we have this interim appointment step that just skyrockets, and it's semi-automated with our software, right? But the clients, you know, they don't typically want to wait for you to set up the ads. They want them now, right? They pay you, they're like, when are my ads up? And they don't typically want to necessarily pay Facebook right after they pulled their credit card and paid you, right? And so this was a really nice thing to offer to them right up front. And we just say, look, we always start with this because we're going to put some cash in your pocket and we're going to pay for our service immediately. So this isn't the only thing that we're going to do, but this service is going to put money back in your pocket right away within a week. You know, you're going to get people coming in and get sales opportunities from it. So most of the gyms that we helped, we helped 525 locations. So this varied wildly, but the ones that we took on, we were looking for this. We were looking for gyms that had a database of 2,500 to 10K because we could get between 2 and 10% of the database to wake up for free using our text message software, right? So let's just say there's 1,000 people in the database. And actually, it's kind of ironic. Well, maybe it's not ironic to you. I don't know. But this is a bit surprising to me. The larger the database, the lower the response rate for some reason. And I think it's because some of the records were older, or I actually don't know why. But like if we got somebody with a database of 1,000, sometimes we get like above 10% to respond. Well, let's just be conservative and, you know, this is just an example, but let's just say that we get 10% of these people to respond. That's 100 appointments. Okay. And we would typically get between a 2 to 10% from that. But from these appointments, right? From these appointments, we would get 70 to 90% of them to show up. Okay. Because, you know, these people want this offer. It's the same thing. We text message them like, hey, do you want this offer? Right? Like, do you want a free 10-day pass? I got a few spare 10-day passes lying around. Notice you haven't come in a while. Would you like for me to reserve one for you at the front desk here? Really simple, right? But people know that a 10-day pass has value. Like, the gym charges $80 to $150 a month. That has value. It's worth like $60 or something, like something like that. So we could get a ton of people to show up. And then likewise, if someone had a database of like, let's just say 10K, the response rate was lower typically, but we could get somewhere like we got Chris, one of our clients was a title boxing owner and he'd been open for like 10 years. He had, I think his database was like 12,000 or something, but we got him 450 appointments and we never turned on a single ad for him. Okay. So the reason why I'm telling you this, I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you that this is what you can expect from a database of this size. And all you have to do is load the contacts into the software tool that we have and break them up into little chunks, right? And start sending text messages, right? If you did 450 at once, it would just overwhelm the business owner. So what we do is we break it up into days. So like 3 to 5 days a week, we'll send them in little batches, like 250 at a time. That way he's getting, 5 to 15 appointments a day. And this works super well, guys. I mean, this guy was, it turned his worst month of the year. I think it was December, in fact, when we started turning this on. It turned his worst month of the year historically into one of his best, which is just insane. We did this with tons of gyms. I mean, so many locations owners. The only time that it didn't work is if the business owner we had a business owner who rebranded. They just changed their gym name and wanted to text message these folks from the new gym name and didn't tell them that it was the old gym, and that went terrible, as you can imagine. These people were just like, oh, who are you, right? And the only other time that we had this not work was when the guy had just abused his list. Okay, so like that's 2 out of 525 locations. So guys, this works like crazy. Okay, so let me tell you real quick what you might be thinking, Rob, well, what do I need to do this? And let me tell you what the old way was for us. The old way was we would get money from the client, and then we would sign them up for Scipio. Scipio is a text messaging tool, or SMS messaging tool, and it was $200. It was $200 to $300 a month, but let's just call it $200 per location, right? Because each location needs a number. So what we do is we would sign them up for Scipio, and like at one point at the peak of our agency, our Scipio bill was $40K a month. It makes me sick to write this. And that, we were way overpaying, and Scipio sucks. It's not a good tool. It's all right for what it is for, a single location if they want to, just call up Scipio and use it. But for us as an agency, it was a nightmare. There was no agency features. There was no way to log in and out of the dashboard as an agency owner. In other words, we had all of our client passwords like in a spreadsheet. And if we wanted to check on the incoming messages or work on the accounts, we had to log in and log out of each one individually. It's terrible. And it wasn't scalable. They put a cap on the contact limit. So if you got a client with a 10,000 person database, you had to pay them extra. Okay. So it was just not a good deal. So there was just tons of wasted time. Just trust me on this one. There was no way that we can manage. I had 12 people on our team, and I think 2 or 3 of them were basically full-time, just managing the Scipio accounts. It was nuts. So not scalable. So, that's the bottom line. Like, I'd much rather be at the pool with my kids than sitting here logging in and out of Scipio accounts, okay? So the new way is we white labeled some software, right? You can do this too. And with this new software, our development partners, we helped develop this tool, by the way. We developed our own tool, and version 1 of that did okay. It was better than Scipio. But as you guys know, I've got a ton of friends, and you all here in our community, they all asked me if we could white label it. Now, I so badly wanted to give that to you, but that was like way beyond the scope of our development partners at the time. And so I was getting ready to leave those guys and go find new development partners when this happened. And I found, our new development partners, and they, it was a perfect match. So instead of me running the software myself, I kind of partnered up with them, became their first certified partner, help them develop the tools and the features, all that good stuff. Still have a great relationship with them, give them tons of feedback on, every day, every week. So, but the biggest the reason why I'm telling you that is because these development partners can white label this tool for you for $300 a month. So you can have your own logo and URL. So your clients can pay you for the software, and when they log in to check the messages or log in to see the reports and stuff, it's your brand, right? Not anyone else's. But the best part about this, that's a great feature, but the best part about this is you can put unlimited amounts of clients into this thing. And what's cool, I'll just show you real quick. What's super cool is when you log in, here's all of our clients, right? So these are just sort of the residual leftover clients from our agency sale. And a lot of these are just like demo accounts or test accounts, but some of them are real clients. And so this is the deal. Like before with Scipio, my God, you would have to log in and out for every one of these people that you wanted to see. And with this now, if there's a new message, you just click this, and these are all the new messages from all my clients, right? If you want to switch to a specific client, you just bump down here, boom, there we go, right? If you want to switch to another, like a different person here, boom, there we go. So it's super simple to go back and forth and see a snapshot of what's going on, right? So all of our clients are in one place. Amazing, right? And we could have 100 people in here. We could have 200 people in here, 300 people in here. All we have to do is pay for the Twilio usage, okay? So it's $300 a month for unlimited clients. And then you just plug in your Twilio account, and it's like less than a penny per text. So how do I do this? Less than 0.01 per text when you plug in your Twilio account, right? And we just pass the usage costs to our client, but it's nothing. It's like 10 to 40 bucks a month, right? So what does that mean? Well, this, we're still sort of talking about the foundations here, right? But you need two things to do this successfully, right? And I won't beat this into you. Again, you just have to trust me from the experience standpoint, but you need some software to keep it organized so that you can save time. And by the way, guys, if a client was to do this on their own, it would take them 10 to 20 hours a week minimum to do lead nurturing properly and to do database reactivation properly. So with our system, if you do these two things, if you get these two things, and these, you need software to keep it organized and save you time. In other words, give you more leverage. So, you could do in 15 minutes a day what would take them 4 to 8 hours a day with this, right? But you need the software and you need the proven campaigns. Oops, sorry. So the software is just a blank slate. It's like if you sign up for Infusionsoft and sign up there, it comes with nothing in it. You're just like staring at a blank canvas. The campaigns that you plug in are proven appointment booking campaigns. And we split tested these things to the high heavens. So you would sign up for your white label software, slap your logo on it, and then the next thing that you want to do is install some proven appointment booking campaigns. So these are the foundational items you need to do this successfully. And could you do this without these two things? You could, but you would quit. I promise. You'd be like, this sucks. I'm not doing this. We did it because it was worth it for our clients that, trying to scale our company. But it was a nightmare, guys. I can't describe to you how bad it was. It was just like, I can't believe we made it through that looking back. So these are the two foundational pieces that you need. Now, the other thing that you need, and these two things we can help provide you, right? There's one more thing that you need to run this successfully, and that thing is like what the offer is in the text. Okay, so I'm going to show you right now how to find that real quick, how to find a proven offer, but you need a proven offer. A proven offer is what motivates them, the prospect, to wake up and say yes to what you're texting them, right? So let me just show you real quick. I'll do this super fast, but this is the way that we figured out in fitness that a free 10-day pass worked best. So that was like what we ran probably the most. But for example, we've got a float spawn here, and their offer is, let's see, what is there? I think it's buy one float, get one free. Let me look. Yep, we're giving it few free buy one get one floats. So buy one float, get the second float free. There we go. Okay. So how do you find what works? What is a proven offer, right? For your niche, for your whoever you help. Well, what you can do is you can go to Groupon or a similar site, right? And you can just go find like whatever. So like for gym, for example, right? So here we go. So F45 is a group fitness training studio. It says, let's see, what is the offer here? It's 90% off. That's what it looks like. Let's view the deal. 88% off. Cool. So it's basically $27 for 1 month unlimited membership. And you can see what we're looking for here is, to have this offer on Groupon is no big deal. But what we're looking for is this. If it says 1,000 plus bought, it means this offer is popular. It means that people want this thing. They know it's valuable, right? Because you're basically saving $200. It's worth $200 in cash. That's the value. So it's really simple to find something like this. You just go to Groupon and see and look for what's sold the best. And so what would we do? We'd say, okay, Mr. Gym Owner, we're going to help you with a database reactivation, and we're going to go with a proven offer. By the way, I've done some research on your facility. I'd love to hear if you have any proven offers, and if you've sold hundreds to thousands of those those offers, let me know. But the one that I see that's working the best in your community and everything is a 1 month unlimited trial membership for $27. It's $200 off, right? And the crowd has done the hard work for you. Groupon and the crowd have already done the hard work for you. Okay, so we would just load that offer up in here and say, hey, it's Ashley at F45. Today we're giving out a few vouchers for $200 off for 1 month unlimited here at our gym. That's a 90% off value. If you want one, just reply me. So simple, guys. So super simple, right? But you have to have that part. You have to nail. You definitely have to have a proven offer to be successful at this. So, but that's how you find it. Okay. So I just give you the answer right there. It's not hard, but people overcomplicate it, right? Don't try something that's unproven, and don't overthink it. Let the data tell you what to put in there. Right. And in fact, $27 is such a low amount. I would just make it free. I would try to talk the gym owner into letting them have it for free. So free 10-day pass or free month pass, somewhere in that range is going to work really well. Right. So you have to customize the offer, right? You have to customize your offer and find something that's proven and use that in your campaigns, right? So you need software, you need campaigns, and you need a proven offer. Okay, cool. So let's move on. This is, I don't want this training to go forever. I want to keep it moving so you guys, I respect your time. But so let's talk about who to sell to, right? Well, there's 3 people that you can sell to. You can sell to, let's assume that you have no clients, but so let's just call that new clients, right? So find someone new and just approach them and offer them to do a database reactivation, okay? Number 2 is previous clients. Some of you have worked with clients before, and this is great to offer to them. And the reason why is because you've already got some rapport with them, and if they bought from you once, they have a much higher likelihood of buying from you again, especially if you're offering something new like this. And the 3rd one is current clients. So if you have any current clients, you should call them up, email them, whatever you got to do, get them on the phone. Tell them, hey, if you've got a database, well, how many people are in your database? Oh, 10,000. Okay, well, I've got this rad strategy for reactivating those people, waking them up, and getting you a bunch of appointments for free. When do you have 15 minutes so I can show this to you? Right? They're going to love that. It's like, hey, I can get you a bunch of appointments for free, and the people that already know, like, and trust you at least a little bit. And I've even got a referral campaign. I've got a bunch of, new tools in my toolbox. So could you use a bunch of appointments this week, next week, and, for months on end? Yeah, that sounds awesome. Great. Let's get on the phone, right? So there's a bunch of different ways to do prospecting, but this is your positioning when you're selling this, okay? And it kind of doesn't matter who you're selling it to, but it's just what matters is the trust level. So here's how we position this. All you do is you approach this person and say, hey, I'm not here to sell you anything, but what I'd like to do is do a trial with you, okay? And during this trial, I want to do what's what's called a database reactivation, and I want to get you 40 to 500 appointments, depending on the size of your database. And if you already know that, tailor it to this, but in the next, weeks to coming months. And the way that I do that is I'm going to reactivate, I'm going to use your current database list, and we're going to remarket to that database list using an awesome, tool that I have. And we can get them going as soon as this time next week, right? So this can happen fast. The good thing is there's no ad costs, so you don't have to pull money out of your pocket, and I can give you a money back guarantee. So if I don't bring you at least 40 appointments, then I'll refund your money in full. No risk to you. Okay? So there's literally no way you can lose. And the reason why this is compelling, guys, is because you can't really guarantee stuff like this with anything else. I mean, you kind of can with ads, but even with ads, like there's ad spend involved. Really, you don't control the platform. Facebook does. And there's some bad months, Sometimes you just have a bad month with ads. It happens to everybody. Eventually, if you run ads long enough for, clients long enough, you're going to have a bad month eventually. So, but with this, it's pretty predictable because these people have already been into the location, most of them, right? So they know the location. They've already been in there probably. They maybe were an old customer and they just quit for whatever the reason. Some people move away and things like that. But on the whole, this is it's just a gold mine sitting there. Nobody's paying attention to it, right? And nobody's really text messaging their list either. They're usually sending email broadcasts, which is ineffective. So I want to bring you 40 to 500 appointments with no ad costs, right? And I can guarantee you at least 40 appointments. And what I'd like to do is do this for you, and I want to take all the risk, right? So you have to make it clear I take the risk. Meaning, if this goes sideways for some reason, you get 100% of your money back. And right here is where the point during the conversation where you say, how much is a customer worth to you? Right? And then they'll say, oh, well, it's $100 a month, or $300 one time, or $300 lifetime, whatever they say, right? Great. Well, how many, and what's your close rate, right? They'll usually say 80%. So you do a little math and say, okay, well, if I brought you 40 appointments, right? Probably 32 will show somewhere in there. 32, and then whatever 80% of 32 is, let's just say it's 20, let's just say it's 25. Keep the number nice and round. 25% sales. So this is cash money in their pocket. Well, that would be rad, Rob. If you could do that, that would be money in the bank, right? Okay, cool. Well, I just want to be sure that you understand, I'm talking about, I'm being serious about this, Mr. Business Owner. 25 sales is $2,500. So you just multiply the sales by whatever they just told you, right? $2,500 in your pocket. And that's just in month one. If you're working with a gym, they sell memberships, right? So, well, that's just in month one. I can put $2,500 in your pocket without ad costs. And that's, how long do you keep gym members typically? Oh, well, it's usually 6 months on average. So you got 5 more months after that of $2,500 on the back end as well. Yeah. Okay. Well, now we're cooking, right? Because that's what's that? 10, 15 more grand on the back, right? So we're talking about adding 17 grand to your revenue here. Would you? Oh, and by the way, do you charge an initiation fee, or do you have any other upsells that you offer to people when they come in? Oh yeah, there's a $100 initiation fee. Okay, cool. So that's an extra $2,500. So in month one, you're going to get 5K, right? So would it be fair if I can put all that revenue into your pocket without ad costs, and I take all the risk? Would it be fair if I just charged you $1,000 as a service fee to do this for you, right? So So if you're having this conversation with them, it's an easy thing for them to understand. Well, how are you going to do that? Oh, it's simple. I'm just going to text message your database using a proven offer. Oh, what kind of offer? Well, do you have a proven offer? Like, do you have one that's been proven to work here and, sold really well? Well, we tried this, this, and that. Not really. Well, the good thing is I did some research in your area and I found out that, a free month is really what people will jump on, right? How do you feel about that proven offer? Well, I don't know. It's giving away the farm. Da, da, da. Okay, well, this F45 campaign on Groupon, they sold it for $27 instead of $220, and over 1,000 people bought it. So they pretty much want a free month. Would you be okay with offering them a free month and doing one better than F45 down the street? If they say no, if they can push back, okay, what about free 2 weeks? What about free 10-day pass? Something like that. That would probably work too. But let's just get these people in so you can grab this 2,500 to 5K, right? So you're not you're not spending any money to do this outside of my fee. There's no ad cost. You're not going to pay Facebook ads, So there's really no risk to you. And if I can't get you at least 40 appointments to put at least that 2,500 5K in your pocket, then I'll return the $1,000 to you. If I can't do that within a month, I'll return the $1,000. So I'll take all the risk. So guys, this is the power of a database reactivation, right? You load up the list. If they say yes, great. You just load up the list, split it up into little chunks. I just gave you guys the first text message that gets sent out, right? It's right here. So you just replace this with a free 10-day pass if you're going to do a free 10-day pass for the gym, and you start text messaging them, right? Now there's some things I'm not showing you here because our campaigns are proprietary, and we've got a whole lead nurturing system, like what to say after that to book the appointment. Like, this location, for example, look at how many opportunities we got them. So this particular lady got a 10% response rate, right? 305 people replied out of 3134 from her database reactivation. And then our system, like if somebody no-shows, for example, we've got a follow-up system here. Someone just texts back and says, hey, I got to reschedule because I can't make it today or whatever. We've got a campaign for that. This is the jam right here, appointment reminders. Appointment reminders will increase your show ratio dramatically. And the appointment confirmation sequence, this just helps automate after they say yes, this helps you save all the time, this tool. So these are the campaigns that we use to make this a 15-minute per day activity after you get going, right? So I hope this is making sense so far. I get so excited about this because all you do is once they say yes, let's say they get a yes, that you get a yes on the hook, is you've got your software, you've got your campaigns, you've got your proven offer, hopefully, dialed in. If not, this is the time to do it. But then you just do an onboarding call with a client and say, hey, just triple checking that this is the offer that we're going to send out, right? This is the offer that we're going to send out. And after we hang up, I'm going to start booking you some appointments, right? So I'm going to pull the trigger on the database reactivation and start to book you the appointments. Okay, here's how you log in the software and see what's what. There's a nice little pretty graph over here showing you how much revenue we're booking for you, right? And so clients love seeing this, guys. They're just like, oh my gosh, people are coming in. I want to see if Sally made it, did Sally cancel? Oh yeah, great. Well, you can check all that stuff right here. They can just log in, right? And what's cool is if you have our team's help with this, we'll even help you. We can help you with your first database reactivation on a screen share. So just so you don't mess anything up your first time, it's pretty straightforward, but we found once you do this one time, you get a little bit addicted to it because it's super fun to watch the appointments start rolling in. And it's super simple too. But a lot of times it's like, oh, I'm unsure. I've never done this before, so I don't know if I'm doing it right or not, Rob. Well, our team will help you get on a screen share, right? This is the money right here, because once you do it once, you can do it over and over and over again. It's really easy to learn after the first time. Like basically after the first time you got it. Simple as that. So then you run your first, then you run it. It's like you're going to run this thing for as long as the appointments keep rolling in, right? So run it. This usually it takes, a few weeks to maybe a couple months, depending on their database size and how many appointments your client can handle. And then you always want to report the good stuff back to the client. And usually they'll text message you and be like, we're so busy, this is awesome, keep it going, right? But you actually want to push the results back in their face, even if no matter what, because even if it's just a screenshot of this, just going like, hey, look at this, right? Or, hey, all these people should be coming in. I see that you're not marking them. I see there's all these people who no-showed, who either no-showed and you mark them, that's great, right? Or, like if you close them, please close them, right? Because you can move these things into the one status. That means they became a customer. And that way this little graphic over here shows their sales percentages and things, right? So we just want them engaging with the pipeline and keeping this number true, because then they'll just be like, oh my gosh, I've made $11,000 this month from, your efforts, something like that. Does that make sense? So definitely want to keep them, like if they're making sales, you want to know about it. It's super easy to. If they just log in once a day and click a few buttons, they can keep you up to date and everything will be running smoothly. And then after you do this, then maybe you start some Facebook ads, right? So like, okay, well, we did a database reactivation, or database isn't that big, so we're going to run some Facebook ads. What about new clients or new customers, Mr. Client? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, great. Well, the database reactivation is going well, but let me fire up some Facebook ads for you using that same proven offer. And then we'll do the lead nurturing for you, which is the same thing as the database reactivation, but as soon as the lead opts in through the ad, we're going to text message them. We're going to text message them for you. So let's see. So Facebook lead nurturing. So out of 98 leads, right? So if we get you 98 leads, we want to follow up with 100% of them within seconds of them opting in. And we want to try and get them to book an appointment as well, right? So let's maximize those, for every 100 leads, instead of getting 2 to 10 to show, we're looking for like 60 to 80 is our goal, Mr. Client. That way you can make a good return on investment from your ad spend. So if you're doing $5 a lead, some campaigns higher, some campaigns are lower, but that's $500. Let's get you at least, let's get you 20 to 40 sales. 20, 40 sales would be extra, 2 to 4 grand. That would be a nice return on investment, right? We want to shoot for 20 to 40 sales for you, right? So again, the reason why is because if they're paying you $1,000 a month, not only has the DR paid your bill, but for an extra $500, they're going to make an extra 2 to 4 grand a month from the Facebook ads. So your $1,000, your piddly little $1,000 a month service fee is looking real good to them right now, and their piddly little $500 Facebook ads bill is looking tiny in comparison to the return on investment, right? So there's a way to hook all this up using Zapier and stuff, but I don't really want. Oops, I'm sorry. Sorry guys, I had the screen covered. This is what I was writing. Here's the math. So essentially, what you want to do is get the client so focused on selling and so focused on the appointments that these fees seem low, and they are low because they're making money from it and they know they are. This works like crazy, guys. All the questions about the tech melt away when you're putting money in your client's pocket, right? So again, this goes back to that concept that we're going closer to the sale for the client. So we're not just doing leads for them, right? We're doing this step and this step for them so that they can just focus on doing this step. So it's two things here. We're handling these two things to get the client one step closer to the sale, right? If you can solve those two problems for them and all they have to do is focus on selling, they'll stay with you as long as it's working, as long as it keeps working. Which for the right kind of client, you keep doing this in perpetuity, because you can market to your database about once a quarter easily without burning it out. And so if they have a big enough database, you could just break the database up into small chunks and run it once a quarter. And then by the time that you get to the end of the line, you can go back to the front of the line and remarket to them. And, if you're doing Facebook ads too, there's some fresh people coming in, the database is growing. It's great. It's a thing of beauty. Keep clients for years doing this. So, I won't go into any of the tech stuff, but once you get some of this tech stuff set up, you don't really have to do it again. Okay. So this is the other thing, is the fastest sales journey wins, right? So when this lead opts in, we're talking about like 0 minutes before they get a text message, right? So it's two things. The reason why this is so compelling to your client is, they're getting the customer's getting prompted automatically to book the appointment. So the speed here is what matters. The speed is what the client cannot do. Remember, they cannot drop what they're doing to go and do this. So our system will do it for them semi-automatically, meaning that first text will go out right away, right? The client does not have the ability to do that themselves. So it's the speed, and it's the fact that we're getting them closer to the sale. So all they have to do is focus just on selling itself. So these two problems are being handled. It's a new thing to them. I haven't met a single gym owner that has these two things nailed. Put it that way. I can call any gym owner right now, and unless they've been in our program, they're not doing these two things. I can assume that they're not, because only a handful probably are. And if they are, you're going to save them 10 to 20 hours a week minimum. If they're doing this manually, it's 10 to 20 hours a week minimum, that they're saving. And hiring somebody, like hiring a full-time employee, is like $4K a month, $3 to $4K a month, just to have someone, looking after this stuff. So, they probably, that's 10 to 20 hours of being generous. Like, someone stinks at this, which they probably do if they're doing this, it's a full-time job. It's basically a receptionist. They need a receptionist to sit there and do this all day, right? Or be available to all day. So when you compare it to that, it's like, look, you can go and try and do this, sir, but do you have someone who can drop everything? Do you have like a receptionist who's just sitting there waiting for the leads to wake up? Right? Do you have someone who's an expert at appointment booking and who's like helped hundreds of locations do this? No? Okay, well, mine's kind of a deal, because we're so good at it, I can afford to charge you something really reasonable and take all the risk away. I'll take all the risk because our system is this good at doing it. It's not me, it's the system. So hopefully by now you see the value here that you're providing to the client. And then beyond that, to scale this, it's so easy. How do you scale, Rob? Right? Well, it's real simple. You just gather the results. It's real easy to do, right? When you've got that dashboard. And usually I get a video with the client talking about it and showing the results, and I interview them, right? Because video is good proof. It's your proof that this works. Then you take that and you go to the next guy or the next client, or even you ask the happy clients you have and say, hey, do you have any buddies who own gyms out of your market? I'd love to connect with them and do the same thing for them. Would you mind hooking me up with them? I'll even pay you a small referral fee. And then what you do is you go and then you just rinse and repeat it. And every time that you get another result, you do the same thing. You gather results, you do a video interview, and you ask somebody else. Ask them to introduce you to someone you don't know. So this cycle goes boom, 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 and it just keeps repeating and repeating. And guys, that's how we were able to grow so fast. The largest month that we had, we went to a trade show and we booked 63 clients in 3 days. And that month, I think we added 85 clients total in May. And that's how we did it. We got so many of these business owners talking about us in the owners' Facebook groups that we couldn't get into, or calling their buddy up who doesn't deal with people like us. He won't even answer the phone or answer an email for someone like us who reach out to them cold, right? But these people were calling us. And this is how you do it, because results, we're in the outcome-based economy now, right? I forget where I read that, but I like this term. I didn't make that up, right? So if you're getting people results and they're tangible and they're real, and it actually helps your business, your clients grow. If you're getting this kind of results, you will not have a problem with getting new clients, right? So, the outcome that you're promising it's really easy for them to understand. Look, I can get you 40 to 500 new appointments in the coming weeks and months. And I'll take all the risk for you to get started, because I know you've been, burned before by crappy marketers, and I don't blame you, Mr. Business Owner. I don't, because I hate it when those guys approach. It ruins it for guys like us, but I'm not like them. I can actually get you results. And so I would love to earn your business as a client, and I'm willing to take all the risk up front to do that. Does that sound fair to you? Yeah, cool. Well, let's just start off small, and we can start off at $1,000 a month, right? Or just for the first month. Let's just do a trial, and we'll just do the first month, right? And see how it goes. But I can guarantee you at least 40 appointments within 30 days, or I'll give you a full refund, 100%, no questions asked, money back guarantee. If I can't do that, but be prepared, because I'm going to get you way more than that. The last client that I helped that looked just like you, we got her all these leads right here. Boom. I'm sorry, all these appointments. Right? She got 233 appointments. So, but I'm going to put money in your pocket, right? Before you get your credit card statement, you're going to be making plenty of cash back to pay that off, and plus profit. That's just in month one. So don't expect for me to not hit it. I want to hit it for you. I'm looking for a long-term relationship with you, right? I want to earn your business as a client. But I'll take all the risk away from you getting started. And when you guys can show them these kinds of results and guarantee those kinds of results, getting clients is easy. So you just do this over and over and over again.